Welcome to Ex Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Ex Machina. Joining me in the studio tonight is my brother from another mother, Robbie Rip Rains from South Carolina. Unfortunately, Doc and Steve won't be here tonight. Doc is fending off Wendigos up in northern Michigan right now. He's teaching some first aid and survival classes up there, so we're hoping he doesn't get his Wendigo on, and he'll be back with us soon. And Steve is out with his daughter for her birthday tonight, so he'll wish her happy birthday and hope both those guys have a good time and are safe. But here in the studio is our guest tonight. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him last Saturday. Maybe it was Minnesota. I don't know. It's one of those up there. He's in a cold area. I think he's in Michigan. Maybe it's Minnesota. I don't remember.
He's somewhere cold.
Somewhere cold. He was driving through a snowstorm when he was texting us. But we were scheduled to have Mr. E.D. Testerman here tonight. We were supposed to have him last Saturday, but we had a last-minute scheduling conflict, and we unfortunately had to just kind of wing it without him. But I still think we had a pretty good show. But tonight we have him in the house, and we're going to be talking about a very interesting event. Earlier this month, we went out to a little bar. Ironically, I know you guys are going to get a chuckle out of the title, but the name of the bar is the Shaved Beaver. It's in Everton, Missouri, and the building's been around for a very long time. And we had an interesting time. And Eric, tell us a little bit about your channel, what it is you do, a little bit about your books, and then we'll kind of jump into this thing with both feet.
All right. Well, I got a channel called The Bizarre and the Unknown on YouTube. Saturday nights at 5 o'clock, I do campfire chats with Eric and guests. It's a laid back channel or laid back show. You can come in if you want to share your experiences. You can share them there. We'll talk about them. We'll go over them. It's fun. You want to do it on video? We'll do video tonight. Corey joined me on video to share about his encounters. You just want to talk about them in the chats? We'll talk about them in the chats. Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, I usually do the more formal one, which is where I talk about certain things. Last week was the 37th parallel. Tomorrow is going to be the night marchers, the Hawaiian night marchers. So it's fun. I write a couple of different style books. I do have Cryptid Horrors, which is the Sagas of Grimson's, book 1, book 2 that's out. And I write, there's a prequel I just released a couple weeks ago called American Guard Book 1, House of Battle, based off of the German werewolves during World War II. I also have a sci-fi out there called In Hajar Book 1, Emergence, and I have a historical fiction, kind of a mountain man series called The Dolphs, Land Beyond. So that's kind of different stuff that I write. I kind of like it. It's fun. That's me in a nutshell. You can find me on Amazon. I find my books on Amazon, and I've got them out on audio. I've got 2 out on audio now. 3 more are supposed to have been released. There's been some issues. They haven't been released yet, so hopefully they'll be released soon.
Well, yeah, keep us posted about that. We'll try to share that out whenever you've got new releases coming out as well. But I was fortunate enough to get to know. And I apologize. I was calling you by your first name. I know we're on the air, and I'm bad about doing it to myself too. But fortunate enough to get to know ED over the last couple of years, and just an awesome dude. And he invited me and my family my wife and my son Noah, to take part in the investigation of this haunted bar. And it was weird to say the least. It's not. First off, it's not a very big bar. And Everton, Missouri is not exactly much more than a wide spot on the road. It's a town of a couple hundred people at the most. But the area itself, as you're pulling closer to the bar, the town itself just has a weird vibe, especially at night. But that area is packed with a lot of history. It is not far from the Civil War Battle of Carthage, which was also known as the Battle of Hellhole. It was a brutal battle, one of the early battles of the Civil War, and one of the biggest fought in Missouri. That place was also one of the stops on the Trail of Tears. There's there's a lot of bloody history in that little town. It was a railroad town. Of course, bad things go hand in hand with the construction and expansion of the railroads, but it was a railroad hub, and a lot of weird things have happened in and around that little town. But the bar itself, that building has been around since as long as the railroad's gone through there. Um, but the bar itself has only been around in the last few years. Back in the 50s, it was a railroad stop cafe, right, and it is right close to the railroad. I mean, you could step out the back door of the barn, throw a rock, and hit the railroad tracks. And that's not an exaggeration. It's like 20 yards away. While we were there, a couple of trains rumbled through, and it'll shake your fillings out of your teeth. But the things we experienced were not during times when the train was going by. There wasn't one immediately preceding or right after when any of the things that happened. These were at any time the train went by, we just basically stopped what we were doing because we knew the train was going to interfere. But the night just started off odd and got weirder as we went. You wanna start out, man? Because like I said, you were there quite a while before we were.
Yeah, I got there roughly at 2200 at night. I've known Brandon and Stephanie for a very long time. They're very, very dear friends of mine. We're close. I love the tar out of them too. So I went there a little early, just kind of, man, guys, I apologize about my dogs. They are freaking out about something and they won't stop. So I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. I can't get them to be quiet. They are barking angrily at the door.
Well, if you have to grab a pistol and go see what it is, I get it.
I might if they don't quit, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I went there a little early. I got there at 2200 to kind of spend time with them, visit with them, because I don't get a chance to make it out there no more. I mean, I'm a single parent. I don't have all the money in the world, so trying to get out there all the time is not the easiest for me. So, I wanted to go out a little early and spend time with them. Well, the 2 times I've been there for the grand opening when they first opened it up, and I was there for the Marine Corps birthday, celebrating the Marine Corps birthday. And them 2 times there, I knew there was experiences right off the bat. And Brandon and my buddy David, a brother of mine, David, approached me. He's like, "Hey, we got ghosts here. Would you want to do a paranormal investigation?" I said, "Well, I know you do." I said, "I can tell the kitchen, I can tell the back porch, and I can tell the pool hall area. There's stuff there. I can just feel it. It's there." And they're like, "Well, yeah, that's where the main hot spots is." So they got to tell me stories. So, Bob's your uncle. We were out there doing an investigation. And it turned out, oh man, from the very moment we stepped foot on my back porch, when Noah and I did the first time, it's like, holy cow, there is something bad out here. And then you came out, and then we got out, and we got to hearing that sound like that woman scream, and then the dogs go nuts. Kept hearing something at the creek, kept hearing a tree sound, tree like creaking, like someone's bending a tree. It was just, from the very first moment we started, there was activity and tons. That deal outside had all 3 of us on our feet going, what the hell is going on here? It was great. It was just great. But that place, like I said, is steeped. Just steep in Missouri history alone, and not all of it good. There's a lot of bad stuff that happened there.
Well, of course, you've got the Battle of Carthage, but going along with not just the paranormal side, there are Bigfoot sightings and Ozark Howler sightings within rock throwing distance of that little town.
Oh yeah, I've had. I've recently, within the last month, I've gotten 2 reports. One of a Ozark Howler crossing the highway in between my house and the bar, and a Bigfoot sighting, which I was telling you guys earlier backstage. Now your stop sign, the top of your stop sign is 10 foot from the top of the stop sign to the ground. Then you got about 2 inches for the channel cap. Then your 911s are 9 by whatever, usually 30, 36, 42. And then you got a cross, that goes on there, and you got your other 911. So this is roughly, 22 inches high from the top of the very first 911, which is the green sign you see on top of the stop sign. And that lets 911 know where to go. That's why they're called 911s. And these eyes were above that 911s. That's a big bruiser. That's a big boy.
Yeah. one thing about the layout of that little town is where that bar sets is right on the little highway that goes through town, and literally just outside that bar, the railroad tracks kind of go behind it and then curve around the town. Just past that, the railroad tracks is a creek, and there's quite a bit of water running through that creek. Um, but just to let you know how rural that spot is, because just beyond the creek, there ain't much. A couple farms. I mean, this is a poke and plum town in Missouri. Poke your head out the window and you're plumb through it. It is a little bitty town. I mean, like when I say there's only a town of about a couple hundred people, that's about it. I thought Walnut Grove was small when I worked there because it was a town of about 600 people, but Everton makes Walnut Grove look like Springfield.
I believe it's 309. Let me take a look real quick while you're talking.
It ain't big. I know that.
Yeah. Let me get that picture pulled up here and I can tell you. I'm sorry, I got a lot of files I got to go through, so I got to figure out which one's which.
No worries, man.
So
when we showed up at the bar, it was a little after midnight when we got there. There was just the owner and the DJ and the DJ's girlfriend or wife that was still there. Other than the us, it was me, Noah, my wife, and E.D. Testerman here, and we immediately set to putting out equipment and kind of getting to know folks and asking where the biggest hot spots were. And the bar didn't disappoint. I mean, at first I thought, okay, I'm kind of out of my depth here, but because I'm not, if anybody knows me, I'm more on the cryptid side of things. I definitely believe in the paranormal, and I've had some paranormal experiences, but I don't really spend a lot of time investigating paranormal stuff. I'm more, like I said, I'm more on the cryptid side. But the more the owner showed us around, the more I thought, man, there's some weird stuff, just feelings here. The area back by the kitchen just kind of had an unsettling feeling. When you went out on the little back patio, they have an outdoor area when the weather's good. We go out on that patio area. The whole time I was out there, I just felt like I was being watched. And when you step out of the patio and out onto the ground behind the bar, that's where the railroad tracks and that creek is. But we set up our equipment and have used these little talking. I don't know what the exact term for it is. It's those spirit boxes that when you let them play, it'll if a ghost wants to answer you, it gets you those random. It like cycles through random frequencies and gives you a voice, voice answers. We set 2 of those up at first. Well, we set up Edie's and then mine, and then Noah and my wife both set theirs up as well. But that was a little bit later, and we started getting some really, really weird vocal responses. Some of them were directly related to questions, and some of them weren't. Some of them were just random phrases that would get tossed out. But one word that kept coming back time after time was the word hag. And you guys know what a hag is. It's if you've watched a Hot Fuzz, it's a frightful old woman, old woman considered frightful or ugly. But it's also a word associated with old witchcraft and just evil spirits and things like that. Because one of the women that is spotted during when people have night terrors is referred to as the hag or the old woman. So this word kept coming up time and time again. Yeah, Noah, you're absolutely right. So some of them were when we were doing things, it would respond to what we were doing.
Yeah, wait until you hear the recorded versions that we didn't have on our phones, Noah. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, unless you want me to say more.
You can say as much as you like. I know we're the bulk of the evidence is going to be put together on a video, but we are going to be talking about a lot of the stuff and even showing some images and maybe playing a few tracks if I can get them to play. But I'm going to show some photo evidence that I got. But the bulk of it is going to be on a special that Edie's producing for his channel. Well, of course, all of it has not been revealed to the owner and his wife yet, which we still need to do. But going to talk about the investigation itself and some of the more interesting things that I found. I can't wait to share some of these pictures with you. Y'all know I'm not a red circle photo guy. When it comes to cryptids or paranormal or whatever, I don't like red circle photos. I tend to refer to it as bullshitography because a lot of that stuff can just be explained as pareidolia. Plain and simple, the human brain will look for familiar patterns. But I got a couple images that, well, that are just tough to otherwise explain. Doesn't look like pareidolia to me. I don't know what it is for sure. I can't say, but I would share some of these images with y'all and kind of get your opinion on it. The first thing I want to show you is it's an image of me, and I think you'll find this bit interesting. I was taking a picture of the window behind me because I kept feeling like I was being watched from that window. And E.D saw something walk by that window shortly after we first got there. Now, the first thing I want to do is show you this image, not because of what's in it, but because of what's not. Yeah, I know. There's my ugly mug. Get past that. While I was doing that, I took kind of like a selfie image because I was getting this window in the photo. Now, y'all take a look at this window. In particular, you can probably see my cursor. I want you to look at this area right here and this area right here. Okay? Notice what's in that window and what's not in that window. There, you don't see any faces. You don't see any reflections. None of us are over there. None of us are very close to it. Okay? So kind of keep this image in your mind because I can't put them up side by side. Again, what's not in this image, okay? Now, jump over to a different image and we get this. It's a slightly different angle, but it's taken from within just a couple of feet of where that other one was taken. Let me bring this up on the bar, up the shot. At this image was taken while we were setting up to interview the bar owner. Okay, that's him sitting there. Now that selfie that I took, I was sitting right about here. If you can see where I'm moving the cursor. Okay, I was sitting about here, so the angle's not that different. Now look at that same window. Okay, take a look at this. I don't know what this part is.
That thing still freaks me out.
It could be a light reflection. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But this right here is a chain that's suspended for like chalk and stuff. Okay. This is what boggles my mind. Because if you look at this, it is clearly in front of the chain. It's not pareidolia. It's not a weird reflection. It's in front of the chain. And it looks like the shape of a head.
Mm-hmm.
And Don says it looks like a huge fish. Yeah, the blue thing does kind of look like a fish. So I don't know what that is. It could be a weird light reflection. It could have been catching. There was a TV behind the bar. It might have caught like a weird image that come up. So it might have just been weird timing from the TV. So I'm willing to completely overlook the big weird fish looking thing. It's this one that really intrigues me.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's that chain suspended from the ceiling, and you can see whatever this is in front of it. And the chain's like a foot or so from the window. It's not right in front of the window.
No, I mean that is a heck of a capture. That is a heck of a capture.
Again, I can't say I know exactly what it is. I can't swear it's a face, but I can tell you it wasn't there. We didn't see anything floating around the bar. Robbie, what do you think, buddy?
I still can't get past the big blue fish monster swimming outside the window. Because
what's funny? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because that kind of, and I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that overpowers the other one. I can see the other one when you point it out, but that other one is just so there and so visceral. It's hard to not. To me, that doesn't look like a weird reflection off a TV image. It just
Slippy Broad says, "Nope. Look at the time." I didn't see this until a few days later when I was going over the images. Didn't see this with the naked eye. Didn't know I'd caught it on. I mean, I was looking through the images on my phone. I couldn't see this when I was looking at my phone screen. It wasn't until a couple days later when I was looking at these images on my computer when I zoomed in and caught this. I didn't even notice the blue thing in the window the first time through with just the phone. But again, I'm willing to overlook the blue thing as just like just bad timing to catch, because I wasn't using flash. There was no flash photography being used. So that blue thing might have been the TV screen, just, as the TV switched to something weird. I'm completely willing to overlook the blue thing. Again, I don't know what it is, but I'm willing to say that there's an explanation for that. This in front of the chain, I can't explain.
No, that in front of the chain's a good capture. I mean, granted, did I see something blue go across that window, that very same window later on that night? You're absolutely right. I did see that, because that's where, I mean, we talked about it because I never heard of what would you call it? The Ozark Blue Man, I think.
Yeah, the Blue Man.
What would you call it?
Which is a big.
I ain't never heard of that. And yeah. So, I mean, that blew my mind, because I just seen it go from left to right, from where that face is all the way the other way. I mean, I watched it in that window. Sadly, I didn't have anything pointed that way to capture that. That would have been phenomenal if I could have. That's why when I seen that blue, I went, whoa. But you're absolutely right. Could that, because the TV was facing it, had 4 screens on it. It didn't change. It was just 4 screens, and it showed the camcorders, or the security cameras for around the bar and outside. So unless you went in there and physically changed it, which we were over there with interviewing him, or getting ready to interview him, so we didn't change it. That could very well be a reflection from that monitor. I mean, I can't dispute that either. I mean, I'm the same way to you on that. It's just interesting how you see that, and then I seen my deal later on that night too.
Someone commented, they said, if it's in front of the chain, why can I still see the chain? Because I don't think this figure, whatever it is, I don't think it's completely there. It's kind of partially see-through. You can see where whatever the haziness of it is in front of the chain, but it doesn't completely block out the chain. But if you look up here, you notice it blocks out the chain more than it does down here. So it's not completely, it's partially translucent. It's partially see-through. So whatever it is, it's only partially obscuring the chain, but you can see that it is darker than the chain and stays in front of it. If it was just something on the window, like dirt on the window, that chain would be clearly in front of it.
Well, and you got to think too, when it comes to ghosts, depending on the level, the energy that they have absorbed to be able to manifest themselves will depend on how well you can see it. Now, there is many times, many captures of paranormal in windows or indoors off of reflective surfaces where they're kind of faded out like that too, and it's hard to see. You don't see it until you do like what you did later on. Go, holy cow, I didn't see this before. That is a very common thing in the paranormal world when you're doing that kind of stuff. So that there kind of shows me if it is what I think it is. I mean, it's pretty convincing to me that it's just a spirit that's had some energy that tried to manifest, and you're just able to catch it on camera. We missed it with the naked eye, which is not uncommon.
Someone said this looks like a girl face on the right. I mean, you mean right here? It does kind of look like a second face.
I mean, you got to think too. That night there, we've had. I mean, I'll be honest. There was more than just ghost we encountered that night.
Right.
There was more than just cryptid we encountered that night. We encountered 3 different things that night, and they were both male and female. So the fact that if that was a girl's face next to that one is not out of the realm of possibility, because we've got evidence of all of it that I just said.
Well, Mark Napier says not enough for me to say it's anything. And I'm right there with you, man. I can't definitively say what it is, but I can tell you what it isn't. It wasn't there. We would have seen something like smoke in the air or something, we would have seen that. Nobody saw this, and it didn't show up in the photo when I was looking at my camera on my phone. But once I got it on the bigger screen on my computer, then it became pretty apparent. Again, it does kind of look like a face. That could be, our own minds trying to find a shape in it, the pareidolia effect. But whatever it is there. It's in front of that chain. So it is clearly part of the image. It's not just an artifact. It's not just, like a reflection on the window, because if it was a light reflecting off the window, it would be behind the chain, and it's not. So again, I can't with any degree of certainty say what it is. I can tell you what it isn't. It's not supposed to be there.
Oh yeah, I mean it's one of those things. I mean, to me, it's pretty compelling. But am I going to sit there and do the same thing? Say 100% that's what it is? No, it's very compelling evidence, and it's similar to a lot of other evidence that's been caught on other situations.
And my other picture that I wanted to share. Again, I'm not saying this is anything definitive. I'm not saying it's anything other than just what I'm showing you. I'll let you guys draw your own conclusions. But no other image does this kind of smokiness. There's no other image that I've taken, even near these same lights. There's no other images where this kind of hazy effect appears. You can see that back over here is the little DJ booth. There's a little dance floor. And this wall back here is not plywood. It's covered with like a type of black plastic. But the more I looked at it, the more my eyes were drawn to this spot right here. Let me know when you see it.
Wow.
I see something right there.
Yeah.
Ryan Tremblay says the smoky haze could be reflected light from the black plastic. Light can differently show up in strange ways. Yeah, I thought of that, and that's why the haziness, I was willing to just kind of say, don't know what it is. It didn't reappear in any of the other images that I took, but it just seemed odd, so I wanted to share it. But while I was looking at that, that's when I noticed that other spot on the wall. Thanks, Noah. Wolverine says, is this someone's house? No, it was a whistle stop cafe for the railroad, almost 100 years ago. But then it became a different bar, and then it was closed for a number of years and then reopened as the current bar that it is. It's only been open, not quite a year, E.D.?
Yeah, so the history behind it started as a cafe. Then it was closed down for a little bit. Somebody bought it and turned it into the Dip, turned it into a bar, called it the Dip. Then it was bought and turned into the Shaved Beaver. Then it was bought again. And then when the owner passed away, it was closed down for a little bit. And then the previous owner had bought it. He owned it until he passed away. It lay dormant for a year or two. I can't remember. And that's when, my friends bought it. And they've had it now for roughly a year. No, I'm sorry, about 8 months? 8 months, I think it was.
Yeah, so it was before the first of the year. So the bar hasn't been reopened all that long. But and again, folks, I will never be the guy that throws an image up and goes and says, this is a ghost or this is a Bigfoot, and if you don't believe it, then you're just full of it. I don't know what these are. I'm just showing you the images we took, and all I will say for certain is that they're weird. I don't know what they are, but I know I didn't catch any of this with the naked eye while I was there. Mrs. Moon says, looks like a woman by the pole in 1880 to 1890 dress. Well, that would have been about the time the railroad went through there. The railroad hit the railroad hit Springfield in 1875, I believe it was.
Yep. Yeah, it was owned. It was owned by two different railroads at one time. I don't want to give you misinformation. I'll pull that information up while you're still talking. I can give you a little bit more. Oh, don't
Okay.
go that side. Daggone you. And then I can give you a little bit more information on that. So while you continue
Wolverine,
talking
it's
about
not a
what you're
big
wanting to
bar.
share.
If you got 20 people
Mm-mm.
in that bar, it would be packed. It is not a
Yeah.
big bar. But it was originally, like I said, it was one of those whistle stop counter cafes where you just had a small area to cook, the counter, and a row of seats at the counter where people would come in and eat their lunch. And wasn't much bigger than that. And they added on to it later to make it bigger. And it's got an outdoor patio area. I don't think I got any good images of. I've got it on film, but I don't think I got any good actual pictures of the patio area. I'll have to look. Gary Spike Sr. says the shadow behind the pole does look like a woman. There's a lot weird in these images. I mean, it just, and again, like I said, folks, I am not presenting these as the be all end all. I'm not claiming that I captured proof of the paranormal or proof of Bigfoot or anything like that in any image I share. I'm sharing these with you so you guys can take a look and form your own opinions and beliefs, because I know I got something weird. I can't say that I know for sure what it is, but I know what it wasn't, and it wasn't there to the naked eye. Wolverine says, I don't see anything in this one. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see the nose on this guy, the mouth, the beard. It almost looks like a flat brim of a hat right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe I'm just pareidolia things up, but that's kind of what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
It
A
looks
little
like
history.
A dude with a large nose, mustache, mouth, beard. Looks like an old style, like Civil War era way somebody wore a beard.
Oh, yeah. And then you got to think, too, I mean, Everton was plotted in 1881, and that's officially when the post office came in existence, 1881. Back then, it was built for the access of the St. Louis San Francisco Railway that passed through alongside the Sinking Creek. Sinking Creek is that creek that's behind the railroad tracks. The other one was the Missouri Pacific Railroad that went through there. So that is the two types of railroad systems that went through there, which the Missouri Pacific Railroad ended up being engulfed and became the Union Pacific Railroad. But originally it was the St. Louis, San Francisco, went from St. Louis all the way to San Francisco. Then it became the Missouri Pacific Railroad, which then got engulfed and became the Union Pacific Railroad. So there's a lot of railroad history. I mean, there's a ton of history there. I mean, Battle Cartridge, the Butterfield Overland Mail Route, the Osage Treaty, Trail of Tears, the railroads, the National Road that went through there. I mean, there's a ton of history. And that's the thing with paranormal. There's a lot of deaths, a lot of bad stuff that happened. On top of that, what does Missouri have a ton of? Limestone. Limestone is a huge conductor for paranormal. On top of that, you got water, and especially running water. With running water is another great conductor for paranormal activity, and we have both of those at that location, running water and limestone. That's what's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to double check my notes before I said what kind of railroads it was, because I wanted to make sure I was right. But yeah, it was plotted in 1881 for the railroad.
The town's pretty old, 150 years old, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine says bars do have quirky atmospheres. Yeah, and again, like I said, I am not going to be the guy that just throws this image up here and says this is a proof of a ghost, and if you don't believe it, then whatever. I don't know what these images are. I just know they're weird, and they are not what I was expecting to find when I took those images, because I didn't see any of this when I was taking the pictures.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to also think too. Look how many deaths that happened building that railroad. I mean, there is reports throughout history of railroads being built and a number of deaths that happened while building these things. There's just a lot of death. So
There was a guy who was a long time customer of the bar. What was the guy's name that sat in that corner booth? I can't remember his name.
Kooksy.
Cooksy. There was a guy named Cooksy that sat, and I'll show you the image. Let me share the screen. There was a guy named Cooksy that came in, and I was sitting on one corner of the bar, and his seat was always right here at this other end. And the staff of the bar will not sit in Cooksy's seat. And a lot of the regulars who have been around there forever will not sit in Cooksy's seat. That is where we put one of the EVP, the spirit box things. That's where we sat one of them. And that's one that we got the most hits out of. So can't say it was this guy Cooksy. I never saw anything out of the ordinary in that particular spot. But that is where we got the most active of the voice box stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what we had in that corner there was a digital recorder. We had a 360-degree digital recorder, and we had the EVP app that was on my phone. That was the two devices we used right there, and I can tell you now, there's a ton of hit on both of those. I mean, rough estimate off the top of my head, I just got through doing all this, close to 180 EVP hits on the EVP app, and then around, if I remember right, 80 hits off of the 360 digital recorder. That was voices that wasn't caught on the app.
Right.
And by the way, they do answer your questions, and they say my name. So
and we
you
did
guys
get,
will hear that in the
we did get a number of direct answers to questions, and we also got a number of verbal responses to things we were doing.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting. You know how it said chair a couple times during the investigation? It didn't dawn on me. We were right in that corner. You know, could that have been Coochie saying, "Hey, you're in my chair, dude. Get out"?
Yeah, very well
Possibly.
could have been.
I mean, I noticed that when I was going through all this.
We've got a lot of video that we're still going through. And there's actually going to be it's like a 2-hour special put together. ED's going to have that on his channel. He's still going through a lot of the video for it. But we are isolating a lot of the EVPs from it. And it's still one of those things where we got such a deluge of information. We haven't had a chance to go through all of it, but I wanted to talk about the stuff that I was able to capture, and then talk about, the experience of the investigation. The full reveal hasn't been done to the owners yet. But this was Edie's, it was his investigation. He invited me along. So it would not be fair for me to do the big reveals here on the show, since it was his investigation. So we're going to discuss some of the stuff like that and talk about some of the experiences we had while we were there.
Here's one for you.
I have a photo of a shadow figure I took in Sumter, South Carolina back in 2012. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to see if I can send this onto you Messenger, but I may have to email it to you. Oh, you hunk of junk. This is one that was not caught on the app. This was caught on the 360 recorder, and it was a direct answer to one of your questions. If I can figure out, I may have to email this. Let me get into the email deal. I'm just going to have to email it. So, I mean, I appreciate you. Appreciate you saying it was my deal. It was all of ours. It was all of our investigation. This is just as much a big part of yours as it is mine. It was a team effort. We all did a phenomenal job. I had fun.
Yeah,
we missed the 30-minute mark.
While you're sending that to me, let's since we just going to jump past the 30-minute mark, we're going to space out the talking about our affiliate programs tonight. We're going to go ahead and do the one from Doc right now, then we'll jump right back in. That'll give Eric a chance to send me the images he's trying to send me. So we'll hear a little bit about Dark Angel Medical from the man himself. Noah, if you wouldn't mind putting up the Dark Angel.
Hey everybody, this is Kerry Pocket Doc Davis from Dark Angel Medical, and you are listening to DA Ex Machina with DA Roberts. You may recognize me or some of my products from Dark Angel Medical in some of the Apex Predator, Lakeview Man, and Wild Hunt books, and you can get those products at www.darkangelmedical.com, along with training classes on how to use those products and save a life. Shoot us an email at info@darkangelmedical.com and be the difference.
And don't forget to check out darkangelmedical.com. If you make any purchases, to use discount code Cryptid25 for 25% off your entire order. And for those of you who are first responders or work for other departments, you'll need to know that these are all HSA and FSA certified, and you can take classes on his online classes for free, and also sign up for classes on how to save lives through his website as well. So definitely check them out and let them know we sent you. Did you have to email that, or did you send it over via Messenger?
Yeah. I emailed it to you. I wasn't able to do Messenger.
Okay.
So I emailed it. It'll say EVP record. Now I forgot what I put on there. EVP record. Something like that. I literally just sent it. So.
Okay.
And this is the one that was not caught on the phone. This was caught on a 360 recorder.
Okay, let me see if I can get this to upload and play.
I've got a lot of disturbing stuff on there, but this one's not a disturbing one. If you guys want a disturbing one, I can send a disturbing one that I caught. Actually, quite a bit, but I can send a very sad, disturbing one if you want.
Okay, I'm going to play the one you just sent me. Hopefully, you guys will be able to hear it. You ready? Here we go.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
Did you hear it right at the end?
Yeah. Well, what did it say?
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
Right at
I
the
could
end.
hear it, but I can't make it out.
I heard Cherokee.
Yeah.
I don't know what it said before that, but right at the end, it definitely said Cherokee.
I'm going to play it one more time because I guess I'm missing it.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
I heard it that time.
Yeah,
but I was focusing on those clicks that were in the background. I don't know what that was, but I wasn't paying attention to that right there at the tail end. What do y'all think of that?
So the clicks, I'm going to tell you guys, I wrote the clicks off because I cannot confirm what they are or what they're not. Could it be something with the device? Could it be something in the background? It's very possible. That's why I did not add those into the findings. But at the end of it, when it says Cherokee, that's the one that I focused on.
Noah says, send me the audio. I'll see about boosting it. All right, Noah, I will forward that. I'll forward that email to you. Hang on a second.
Do you want to hear a sad, disturbing one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll email it to you. It's this one here. I have mixed feelings on this one. I'm not going to lie. It is sad and it's horrible. But I mean, it goes with the history of that place and why it is the way it is, man. It's you may have to boost the audio. We can try it without doing it. We may have to just a heads up, Noah.
No, I sent it to your lizard, your lizard one.
What is wrong with these dogs tonight? Daggone, they're at it again.
Mark Nebier said, did the Cherokee call themselves Cherokee? You know, that's something I don't know off the top of my head. They did?
They did.
Okay.
Yep.
Missouri Broad says, could have been a non-Cherokee saying it. It's possible.
Possibly. The funny thing that people don't realize about the Cherokee, and this is very, very cool. Well, I'm part Cherokee. This is very, very cool about them is, where did it go? if you do a DNA test on the Cherokee are part of the known as the 5 civilized tribes. You actually do a DNA test on the Cherokee, and you'll find that they have Jewish DNA in them. They're the 5 civilized tribes are considered possibly one of the that lost tribe of Israel. It's not the one I want. Where are you? Huh. Turn around. No, I don't want that one.
Henry White says, "DA, I sent you a message on some gear. Did you send it to my Facebook Messenger or my email? Because I'm not seeing it. May have to look for it after the show."
I'm going to let you guys talk. I got to hit a couple audio things real quick
Okay.
to find out
Not a
which one
problem.
I'm wanting because
I'm gonna play that before Noah has a chance to enhance it. I'm gonna play that audio one more time, just because I'm really interested in it.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
Yeah, right there at the end it says, "I'm
Clear as
Cherokee."
day.
Holy
Either it
crap.
says I'm Cherokee or yes Cherokee or
Something. You hear the
something.
word Cherokee though.
But Cherokee is plain as day.
Oh, I found it.
Hey, that's freaking weird. Ugh.
Yeah. I told you
Gives
it
me the
was fun.
heebie-jeebies a little bit. Because I did not hear that at the time. I would have been like,
Well, that's because it was.
damn!
Yeah, that wasn't on the VVP app that we have. That was straight up on
Audio
the
capture.
360 digital recorder I had.
Kevin Bode says, "Can you repeat that about the DNA?"
The DNA, when they done I can't remember, he was a preacher. He's a Cherokee and he's a preacher. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He done a study on the lost tribes of Israel and the 5 considered civilized tribes of the Native Americans. And when he done that DNA test, it came back Jewish. Now, the thing about the Cherokees, when the monks and stuff would come over and try to convert everybody to Christianity, the Cherokees knew about the cross, had symbols for the cross. When they seen the cross, they knelt down and prayed to the cross. So the Cherokee and the other 5 civilized tribes, they all have Jewish DNA. So the theory of them being the lost tribe of Israel is extremely compelling because of that. I just emailed you another one, DA. We'll try to list it on here, but Noah may have to enhance it. It's very sad and very disturbing.
I'm going to download it and then forward it to Noah, and then I'll upload it and play it here. Noah, I'm sending it to the same email address. Let me get that sent. Okay, now I will upload it and play it here.
I've got this is not even video. I've got dang near 2 hours worth of just audio captures alone that we've caught there. Yeah. And that ain't even the video stuff yet.
All right. I have not listened to this one at all, folks. We were going to put it straight up on the show. And you want to walk us into this one before I play it? So
this one here, I can't remember the question. I didn't listen to it. I just happened to scroll it and send it to you. If I remember right, something was asked, and it's a female voice whispering, about the same tone as the male Cherokee voice we just heard. Medic, I'm sorry, Roxanne. I'm sorry. The thing keeps shooting and I keep losing track of where it was. Roxanne, I believe there is, but don't quote me on it. Let me do research on it again before I give you a definitive answer, but I believe so. But let me do more research because it's been 10 years since I looked this stuff up.
Okay. Well, no, I've already forwarded this clip to you. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Are you Cherokee? You come through here with the Trail of Tears.
What am I hearing?
So what it says is no, I'm brain farting off the top of my head. Let me get back to it real quick. Child's dead. I killed him.
Where's that at? Is it right at the end or?
Part of it's in the middle. The other part's in the end. It's two sections. You'll have to listen it up. Unless you got high volume, it's kind of hard to hear. But man, when I heard that, I went, holy crap.
I'm going to play it one more
My
time.
child's dead.
Folks, if you've got headphones on, turn your volume up a bit because it's going to mute all our mics. And if you guys can hear this, let me know. I'm going to try to turn my headphones up too and see if I can hear it. Heard something.
I was mistaken.
I can't
Both
for
of
the
them.
life of me swear to what it is.
Yeah, I was mistaken. It was both of them was right towards the end of it. It said, "My child's dead. I killed him."
Let me play that
I was
one
like,
third time.
Great. Yeah. Focus at the end. Focus towards the end of it, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely hear something, but yeah, I can't say with any certainty what it is, but I definitely hear something.
I got my audio at 39 and I heard it, but then again, I've heard it probably 20 different times going over this, trying to pinpoint so I can get it sectioned. I've got the stuff that I have sent you already. That's under the kitchen EVP. So,
Okay.
that kitchen is oh my God, that kitchen is a very, very dark freaking place, man. That is a dark place in that bar. And that was caught on the kitchen EVPs.
Well, let's see if
That
Noah
was-
can bring that up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the last few seconds of it, Noah, is where you hear. If you have to isolate it, you'll faintly hear me in the background saying, "Are you Cherokee? Did you come here on the Trail of Tears?" And then right at the last few seconds of that audio, you'll hear it say, "My child's dead. I killed him."
Well, I'm going to try playing it one more time. Again, folks, if you've got your headphones handy or you've got your headphones on, go ahead and turn your volume up. And I know I'm hearing something, but I can't swear to what I'm hearing. But let me know what you guys hear. Again, I'm going to play it again. Here we go. I hear like a ch sound, but I can't make it out.
Yeah.
My headphones aren't the greatest. I'll try to listen to that later with my really good headphones because I've got some complete noise cancelers, but they don't work well on the show because I can't wear a hat.
That's what I've been. That's how I've been catching a lot. I've got to get something better than that, but I was even catching it on these. And a lot of them's already talking about they heard it. One who was in there just says, "Yeah, you don't catch that very often." No, you don't. And that's a sad thing, folks. You got to realize on that one there, you got to think how far back. I mean, even pre Everton, the history that was there, because you had pioneers that were going through this area, and if they get caught up, in a blizzard, or they lose food, or they're in a massacre by the Native Americans. It was not uncommon in them times for them to kill each other off to keep from being captured or from dying. And that makes me wonder, is this why she said this? I don't know. That is my theory because of what life was like back in the days of the pioneers. In Greene County, Missouri, out by just south of Shelby. Shelby goes in between CC and turns into H Highway, which turns into Glenstone. There's a little concrete area that's the pioneers used to stop and drink water. So you can actually go. I'm a sign guy for Greene County, so I maintain everything east of 13 Highway in Greene County. So I see a lot of this historical stuff. But it talks about the pioneers that came through before. So could this been a pre-settlement, a pioneer woman? Something happened. I don't know. Could it be someone who went nuts, done it? Possibilities are endless on this.
Okay, here's the cleaned up versions that Noah sent. I don't know. I uploaded both of them, so I'm not sure which one is which. I'm just going to play them and see what we get. So here's one of the ones that Noah cleaned up and sent. Let's see what we can hear.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
I heard.
Yeah, you can hear it real good.
I heard it really clear that time. I'm Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
It's either I'm Cherokee or with Cherokee.
Yeah, I just heard Cherokee.
Let's hit that one again.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
Yeah, I clearly heard Cherokee.
Yeah. That was a response of yours to your question.
Yeah. Oh, no, it says I wouldn't say cleaned up. He says audio boosted. Chris J says, yep, I heard that. All right, I'm going to play the other one now. I just wanted to see what everybody... Missouri Broad says, I hear Cherokee Indian. I definitely hear the word Cherokee. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne Delgado says, I heard Indian also. A Crystal J says, my skin's crawling. Okay, I'm going to play the other one. Hopefully we've got this one boosted. We can hear it a little better too. Are you Cherokee? I heard. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm hearing on that one.
I'm just hearing sounds. I mean, they're just saying something, but I can't.
It's saying something. I'll be damned if I can make out what it is.
Yeah, I can hear it on my speakers. And like I said, mine's at 39, and I can hear them on my speakers. So I'm not sure on that.
Okay, well, I'm going to play it again, y'all. Are you Cherokee?
Damn, that sounds quieter, but yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of noise there, but I cannot. Mrs. Moon says sounds like a woman. Can't make it out. It sounds like a woman's voice, but I can't make it out. I'm gonna have to listen to that with my good headphones. When
I don't know if there's a way I can send the edited version because I edited everything on clip art. I could play around because the edited version, I've got the volume enhanced up to 200% instead of the 100% that it normally goes on. I could try that way if you want to see if that's easier.
Noah says, "Are you sure those are the ones?" Let me delete the ones that are on here.
Oh,
and yes, delete those, and I'm gonna make sure I got the correct ones uploaded. Noah says, "Are you sure those are the ones I sent?" I thought they were. Let me make sure there's none.
That last one sounded kind of quiet.
Okay, I'm going to try uploading them fresh. I may not have downloaded them correctly. Hold on, Noah. Did you rename them, or are they still the same things? What the heck? I downloaded it and then it immediately disappeared.
I'm on clip art now. I went ahead and uploaded it and put it up 200% volume. I'm saving it and I'll try to send it to you, see if that helps. I've been using the crack out of this clip art here lately, making these videos. Meow. Meow, meow. Yeah, you're being noisy today, honey.
Yeah. No, I may not have gotten them. I see where I sent them to you. Okay, now that's weird.
Okay, I'm getting ready to...
I downloaded the video, watched the video appear in my download file, then it immediately disappeared.
Wow.
What the hell is going on? Oh, it says there's a problem playing this video. When I try to download it, it just disappears.
I just emailed you one that I enhanced off of clip art. We'll see if it works better for you that way. I turned the
Noah,
volume
they've
up
got
to
to be.
200%.
I figured it out. I know why they're disappearing. Noah, they've got to be an MP4 format. They can't be an MOV file.
No. Yeah, no, you didn't hear a cat ghost Wolverine. That's baby kitty. She's being...
I just played the same audios, the same ones that you sent me. Noah, if you're going to email them to me, you've got to send them in MP4 format. It's the only way I can upload them to Talk Studio.
Yeah, this is baby kitty. She's a spoilt little rotten thing, and she's mouthy right now.
Okay, so sorry about that, folks. I was not playing the enhanced versions or the audio up versions. I was playing the exact same ones over again because I need them in MP4, Noah, not MP3. That's the only format that Talk Studio will accept.
Oh, your claws, honey. Careful. I know you're excited. You want outside?
Noah says he exported
While
them
you're
as
doing that,
MP3s.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to let her out real quick.
Okay. Audacious Amber says, I had to leave for a minute. Did you happen to cover the World War II werewolves or no? Yeah, we have in the past. It's been a while. We may have to go back and revisit that, but we did talk about the werewolves of World War II a couple of times.
That's a fascinating subject right there.
Oh, it is, definitely. Okay, you just sent me an enhanced version?
Yeah, it should say enhanced on there.
It does.
That is enhanced on clip art. It should be.
All right. I'm going to upload it and play it while I'm waiting on Noah. Yeah,
He said they're in your email.
Are you Cherokee? You come from here for the Trail of Tears.
You guys hear it?
All I can still hear is sounds.
That's what it sounded like to me too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right at the end.
Here's the
I mean,
one Noah said.
I can hear what you're talking about, ED. I mean, I know
I
where
definitely hear something there.
I can't make out what it's saying. It's just all it sounds like is.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the one Noah sent.
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
Yeah,
That one was good.
yeah, that one popped out. You guys want to hear it again?
Are you Cherokee? Did you come through here with the Trail of Tears?
That's the one we could hear anyway. The first time that we could hear before he even enhanced it.
Okay, I'm going to play. We're just past the 1 hour mark. I'm going to play the other one real quick, and then we'll stop for a moment so we can stretch our legs and talk a little bit about Scallywag Tactical. There's something there, but as for what it is, I can't say. Yeah, it is. There's clearly a. Oh, Noah says I hear it repeating just two. Yeah, we're definitely catching some sort of EVP on there, and those are two different recorders in two different parts of the room. You know, that is my voice saying, "Are you Cherokee? Did you come here on the Trail of Tears?" And two different recorders are picking up two completely different answers.
Now, to give you guys kind of a background, that is a regular digital recorder that I had in the kitchen. So in the kitchen is between DA and that recorder is a wall, is a bar, and a bunch of machines. And you're catching that back here in that kitchen.
Missouri Broad says, I definitely hear child or my child is dead. I hear something. I can't make out for sure what it is, but it is very interesting to say the least, because none of us heard those responses when we were talking. All right, let's take a quick moment to talk about Scallywag Tactical, one of our other affiliates. Had to give me and ED here a chance to stretch our legs. I need to step across the hall. Robbie, you want to tell us a little bit about Scallywag Tactical? Take about a minute, and I should be right back.
Scallywag Tactical is one of our other affiliates that is a first responder owned company. Craig is a military veteran, and he makes some of the best blades that you can get. There's more expensive blades out there, obviously. Spyderco is Benchmade. Those are two of the most expensive folding knives you can get, but dollar for dollar, you're not going to find a better value anywhere than other than Scallywag Tactical. This is the Jolly Roger, and normally we got DA here putting up all of them, so I've only got my Bounty and my Jolly Roger to show. So we don't have a lot of props tonight, folks. Sorry, we're working a little different tonight, but y'all know that we have these sponsors and these affiliates because it's stuff that we believe in. If you've read the books, you've seen the Bounty, you've seen the Jolly Roger, you've seen the Gunner's Mate, you've seen all these knives in DA's books, and they're there for a reason. They're there because they're good quality made, American made craftsmanship. Craig stands behind his work. Steve always tells a story about how he broke the tip off his privateer, and Craig, who didn't have to, fixed it and sent it back to him at no charge after he scolded him a little bit for using it as a pry bar, which he shouldn't have done, but Steve didn't know. So Craig educated him, fixed it, and made a customer for life. And Steve is now proud owner of multiple Scallywag Tactical blades. They've got folders, fixed blades, kitchen knives, fishing knives. I mean, you name it, they've got it. Anything to hack off limbs, or machetes to hack off limbs. Different kinds of limbs, but they've got a blade for whatever purpose you need it for. Head on over to Scallywag Tactical. They've still got the blemish blade section. They're getting ready to add about 24 to 26 new blades. So check everything out. Check the blemish blades out. When you get a checkout, hit code DA Roberts 10. Get yourself an extra 10% off, and that does stack up with every other sale they've got going. They've also got their little section called Scally Swag, which they have whiskey flasks, whiskey glasses, the little camp sports that you use, just all kinds of stuff, shirts, hoodies, anything that you probably want, they've got. So check it out. Any kind of outdoorsman loves those kind of stuff as gifts. So head on over to Scallywag Tactical, tell them we sent you. Code DA Roberts 10 at checkout for an extra 10% off. And that's all I got to say about that.
So, DA, real quick,
Yes, sir.
I sent you a different one. This is an evil one.
Okay.
I won't say what it says. I'll let everybody listen to it first. Then I'll tell you what I heard on it. This is going to be louder, so it should be a lot easier to hear.
Okie doke. Well, Patty, I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for this one, so yeah, you might need to put your headphones back on.
Kevin, yes, I can.
Yeah, yeah, Patty. If you don't like evil stuff, you don't want to listen to this one.
A little Patty, I'll give you a second to put your headphones on if you want to listen to this.
DA, real quick, while you're waiting, can you pull up your gunner's mate and show Kevin the engraving on it? He was just asking if I can engrave that.
I gotta
I should
dig it out.
But I should have brought all mine in.
Put the Dark Frontiers logo right there on one side,
awesome.
And the Wild Hunt logo on the other side.
That is awesome. I need to save up my pennies for that. I need to save up
So,
some money. I need one of those.
Yes, Kevin, I can engrave on the gunner's mate and the bounty, and I've actually DA's got what was it, a privateer or is it mini jack that I
Mini Jack got the Wild Hunt logo on it too. It's in the other room where I would put
something small as a mini jack. I put the Wild Hunt logo on for him.
Okay, let's hear this one. Y'all ready?
It's towards the end.
Okay, let me make sure I'm playing the right one.
It should say.
What's it saying?
So that is the spirit box I had back in the kitchen. It says, "Our Father gone."
Let me play that again. Did hear that. That's creepy.
Dude. And I've got a lot more than just add in that tone of voice.
Honestly, it sounded like a DJ scratching records. What all it sounded like to me.
So that static you hear, and that is a spirit box. The spirit box shows off a frequency and static electricity to enhance a voice. And while that was playing is when I caught that.
I'm going to forward that to Noah and see if he can bring the volume up a little bit. Noah, sending you another one, buddy. Yeah, because I'd like to hear that one a little.
Missouri board. I thought that at first, but at the end you can hear it shout, "Gone." So I'm not really sure. And it's saying, as in our Father in heaven, it says, "Our Father." Then there's a pause and "Gone." So it's yeah.
Okay, well,
I heard that. I went, "Oh, damn."
I'll play this just that version again for everybody.
Yeah.
Because someone said it went to commercial while they're right about the time I was about to play. I'll play the non-augmented version, and then when Noah gets back me with the other one, I'll send it. So if you got your headphones, get them on and turn it up. I'm about to crank my volume all the way up, and let's listen to this one more time. Dude. Yeah, I heard that one. Hey, we got a super chat from Sentinel himself. Thank you, brother. Sentinel's in the house, or Six Killer if you prefer.
Either way.
Either way.
To your response, Missouri Broad, yes, that is one theory that I was wondering. Because you can tell that is not a human type voice. That is something kind of evil. So that is one theory. Yes, that it means it was talking about God's gone. That is one theory I was wondering. Now, this is all speculation. I have no clue what he means, what he's talking about. That is just something that popped. Nobody was back there, and it just said that. Robert Miller, you're awesome.
Thank you, brother.
But yeah, that I heard that and I was like, holy cow. I had to hear that 3 or 4 times. Dude, and that's not the only creepy one I caught.
Noah says there's too much white noise on it. He can't isolate the voice at all. All right, well, I'll play the As It Sets one more time. So if y'all got your headphones handy, I'm going to play that one more time and see what you guys think. Here we go. Dude, yeah, I hear it. Our Father, gone. Very gravelly voice.
Now try being up for 40 hours and you're half awake, half asleep, and all of a sudden that screams in your headphones.
Yeah, probably woke you up. Probably didn't need any coffee for a few minutes.
No, man. I was like, did I just hear that? I got to replay that. I'm like, oh my cow. I was like, wow. That's
so you've actually captured a lot more than this, though.
Rough estimate. Let me get in here. I can give you a rough idea. So on the kitchen recorder. Oh, why is it not working for me? Come here. 39 EVPs on a kitchen recorder. Let me get back.
Missouri Broad says, do they ever get the sulfur type smell in the bar?
Nah, not that I recall. I don't remember hearing that.
I remember him saying they've seen a full body apparition behind the bar. Yeah. They've had things move completely on their own. They had a cooler, a koozie. It's one of those hard-sided koozies that you put a can, like a can of beer or a bottle of beer in. They had one of those. It was setting on its side on the bar right in front of where that guy Cooksey sat, and it rolled the entire length of the bar and off.
Yep. The skeleton got tossed off.
Yeah, they had a Halloween skeleton that went into the bar. It kept getting knocked off.
A bar that locked the back door. My brother David, when he slept there overnight, heard it get lifted up and tossed out. The recorder for the bar, not our phones, just a recorder for our bars, 80 hits on that one.
Those will be on the big full-length video that he's going to be releasing on his channel. Again, tonight our whole plan was to show some of these images that I captured and play a few just to kind of get your juices flowing and let you hear some of the more interesting stuff. But that bar was really active. It had a lot more stuff popping up on, and I was right every time the spirit boxes said a word, I wrote the word down, right? Well, Eric started it, and then I took over, and then my wife did it for a while because it happened so much, but it was like double columns, like 4 pages of things it said, and just wrote down everything. And one of the words it kept repeating was hag. And that kind of brings me to when we went outside. We went out there's a little patio area. We went out there and it was pretty chilly that night, like not quite freezing, but pretty cold. So we went out there and it's you can't really tell if you got cold spots when it's cold outside. So we went outside right after one of the trains, it was like 2 trains went through while we were there. It was right after one of the trains went through. Because I wanted to go out and see just how close the train tracks were. And when I'm saying they're close, they're like from here to the end of my driveway close. I mean, less than 20 yards from the bar. So while we're out there walking around, we heard something down by the creek, and it sounded like something walking. And then we heard creak in the tree, like something creaking the wood, like a sound as like wood was being stretched or twisted, and just had the weirdest feeling we were being watched. Um, don't know if it was cryptid related. I kind of think it was because there were sightings in that area all around, and like I said, that creek, uh, and it's pretty heavily wooded straight back there by that creek. That creek is about just like 20 yards on the other side of the railroad track, so it was close. And to have that in the same proximity to what was going on inside the bar just really kind of ratcheted it up for me. There was definitely something out there, and there was a number of times we felt like we were being watched.
Oh yeah. Well, and like we was talking about in backstage, them EVP hits we got on our phone that we wrote down, 156 hits on that app, 156 hits. So we're looking at well over 400, right around 400, probably 400 hits on EVPs. So 4 times on that EVP app, we got hag. Now, 4 times on the EVPs that was not on that app, that was on the recorder, specifically said what was outside was a hag. I can actually, if you want, I don't know how good they'll come across. I can send you one. This one, I'm doing the bar one, Noah. That way you can enhance it if you want, if we need to. I'm going to turn my mic off for a second because I want to find the best one.
Anti-Venom said, did it say boo hag? No, it just said hag.
No.
Just the word hag.
Boo hag, something from the lower part of South Carolina. Geechee.
Deus Volt says, hey, I found this guy you might want on this show. Have you heard of Subarctic Sasquatch? Yeah, Fred Roll. He was on just like last week. He's actually like his third time on the show too. So if you like Fred, definitely check out Subarctic Sasquatch. But he's been on our show 2 or 3 times. Missouri Broad says that window photo looked like a face with a witch nose, like a hag. Okay, well, let me bring that window photo back up, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, let me share the screen, and I'll zoom in on that slowly. I'll bring that up, and having the word hag in mind, since she said that this is the bar right about here in the foreground, right about, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. You can see where my cursor's at. Right in there is where they saw the full body apparition. And this corner right over here is where that guy Cooksey always sat. It's also the spot where the koozie took off and rolled the length of the bar all the way to the far end behind where this photo was taken. But I will zoom in on this area here. Now, not that you say the word hag, does this look like hair? Kinda. That's that chain or string or whatever it was.
It almost looks like that. What was the guy's name on the Tim Burton animated Halloween movie? The Jack something or another.
Jack Skellington.
There you go. It almost looks like him.
Well, you can see that string or that chain or whatever it was. It was something suspended from the ceiling. But you can see this is partially obscuring it. So whatever this is in front of that. It's not a reflection on the window. It is physically between where this picture was snapped and that chain, which is not quite to the glass. It's still a little ways from that window. So whatever that is suspended in midair over the pool table.
I listened to those, and all of them's kind of quiet, kind of like that. My child's dead. I killed him. So I just I don't know if it's going to pull up or not. So I didn't send them. But there was one time we asked if we remember when we asked a couple different things about what's outside. Each time it did, it said hag. Man, that is just a cool picture, man. So I just didn't send them because if we're having that issue with my child's dead, I killed him, then we're going to have the same issue with that hag deal. Okay. So I know some people could hear it, some people couldn't. I mean, so, but yeah,
I could hear something,
again,
but I mean,
make out what it was.
Yeah, I definitely heard something. I just can't make out what it was. And again, folks, with the picture and even with these audios, we're not, saying this is what it is, and if you don't hear it, then you're crazy. We're saying that we're hearing something, and we wanted your opinion on what you heard as well. I'm not going to present. We're not going to present any of this as the be-all, end-all proof of the paranormal. We're just presenting it as something really bizarre we got on camera and on audio, and wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cool. It is just all really cool. But no, I mean, I can go here all night, and we're not, it's stuff. We'll wait. But man, I just got tons. It's ton of tons. I'm done with the audio, and now I'm trying to go through the video and separate all the video stuff. And then I got to put all that in the deal. Then I got to take what you guys got, put all that in the deal, and then we got to do our shoots for the different things and our reveal and put that all in there. So we're still going to be. There's still going to be a while before I can get it out, but as soon as I can, I'll have it out. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, we had a fun night, and it's even though I'm exhausted. I mean, I've been going through evidence since I got home that Saturday morning. I've been going through that whole time. So from March 9th until today, I am still going through evidence, if that tells you guys stuff. It's a lot. So
I'll make sure I get you copies of all the pictures and the video that I've got.
Mm-hmm. And and like I've said before, DA, you're more than welcome to share this on your channel too if you want. I mean, to me, this was a joint deal. This is all of us come together. It ain't just me. This is all of us. I mean,
once you've got the full video put together and released, I think what we should do is do a premiere of the video, and we'll link to it. But like I said, man, you're the one that set that up. That was your baby. We were happy to be part of it, but that was your baby. So we're not going to steal your thunder.
That's right. Hey, Scott, I mean, if you want, I could send you the commercial I did right now as the teaser.
I've got that.
You can hear some of the stuff. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did send it to you. That's got some of the more of the stuff you can hear better. How you doing, Scott? You doing all right, buddy?
Let me upload that real quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, because in that one there, it does have my child's dead. Now I'll tell you the stuff I released, because some of the stuff is hard to hear, folks. In the release, I do put in words what I hear. Now, some of the stuff, if you ever see question marks, like 3 question marks, is because I can't make out what they're saying. The other thing you guys will see in my video when it says possible Native American, that is the stuff that sounds Cherokee. Now, am I saying it's Cherokee? No. That's what I'm trying to work on right now. But I have got 3 or 4 hits alone that is possible Native American language. One of them is Jo Cheche. That comes up twice.
All right, well, I'm going to play the intro and kind of as a teaser. Actually, yeah, we'll play the intro, and then I'll do our.
Yeah, it's the commercial. So.
And how soon do you think you're going to be ready to debut that?
as soon as I went ahead and put the commercial out on my Facebook, but as soon as we get the rest of the recording stuff, well, what the hell? My computer just done a bunch. Oh, that's why. Sorry. As soon as we get the rest of our recording stuff and do the reveal, then I can put it all together and get your stuff. So I'm hoping within the next few weeks I can have that out.
Okay. Well, as soon as you do, we'll try to get you back on so we can premiere it, and we'll share the link and make sure everybody gets a chance to know when that drops.
Man, it is getting hot in here like really quick for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a quick moment and tell you guys a little bit about brockblades.com, and then we'll continue on. His fault is the bubonic plague nursery rhyme. Yeah, that was a little creepy too. But brockblades.com. No, if you don't mind putting that up. Brock is one of our affiliates. He's a retired first responder. He builds custom blades, whereas Scallywag Tactical are all, beautiful blades that are also, machine produced. Ken Brock's blades are all produced by hand. If you've read the short story Dog Soldier about Will Grey Eagle in Afghanistan, you will see me feature the Ardennes blade, and it shows up again in the other books. Ken makes amazing blades. Each one is one of a kind. They're handmade, so no two are identical. And you can also choose custom blades to have one made specifically to your blade style, your handle style, colors, things, that kind of thing. And if you know anybody that's a first responder or veteran or anything, or anybody that's an outdoorsman, the gift of a custom blade is something that'll be treasured. And these aren't just to set on a shelf and look pretty. These are to be used. These are rugged, durable blades. And if you take good care of them, they'll last you a lifetime. So definitely check out brockblades.com. Tell them we sent you. If you order anything that's currently on the website, you can get the 10% discount by using discount code Cryptid10. Or if you order a custom blade, in the description, make sure you put that you heard about brockblades.com from here on DA Ex Machina, and he'll make certain you get your 10% off even on custom orders. So check out brockblades.com. We're proud of all of our affiliates because they're either veteran-owned or first responders, and we're very all about supporting our veterans and first responders. So thank you guys, and definitely check out brockblades.com.
I need to get me a few of those. I got Scallywags, but I don't have none of the Brock Blades yet. I definitely need to get some money saved up and give me some of them.
Yeah, they're worth it. I mean, they are beautiful blades. This one that I've got is called the Skane Dhu, which is modeled off an old Scottish dagger, and I like it a lot. It's part of the ones I keep in my kit when I go out.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I've got messages flashing over here on the side. Again, folks, none of us are presenting this as proof of the paranormal or claiming that this is the be all end all. This is just what we wanted to share with you guys. This is what we wanted to get your opinions on, see what you guys thought. And let you guys get your own direct firsthand views. There are no red circles on any of this. The only amplifications we've done on any of this was increasing the volume. So this isn't a case of us, trying to plant some sort of track in the EVP for you to hear. That's the raw sound. Same with the images; those have not been manipulated in any way. I don't know if you guys know much about my tech skills, but I couldn't Photoshop an image to save my life at gunpoint. These are just the raw images. I mean, I could pull them up on my phone and show you the same way on the phone as they are on the computer. So we shared the raw images, no red circles, no circling pareidolia and claiming that it's 97 Dogman on Dancing on a Leaf. This is just the raw image, and again, you can we leave it to you to see what you see. There's really no right or wrong answers. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't, and that's just how it is. I mean, that's kind of the way life is. Not everybody sees the same things when they look at a painting. Not everybody sees the same things when they look at cars. Some guys look at a car and think that's beautiful, and other guys like, man, I wouldn't drive that if somebody shot at me. But it's all perspective. But it's very interesting when you present stuff like that, and you're not the only one that sees it. So I think I would definitely describe these images and these recordings as compelling. Very interesting that these images are what they are. And Robbie kind of got this spring on him cold turkey. He wasn't prepared for any of this, so and I kind of wanted to do that on purpose. So Robbie had kind of the outside opinion on it. Robbie, what'd you think, bud?
Look, some of the things I heard clear as day. Cherokee, I heard clear as day. I couldn't hear what E.D. was saying about the child's dead. I heard something, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. And, here's the thing. You talk about subjective reasoning and things like that, where if he says this is what it says, automatically that's what you're going to hear. That is not always the case, because he said that, and I still never heard that.
Same.
All I could hear was sounds. I tried to actually hear what it's, and I couldn't. I never heard it say that. So you got, like DA said, you got to be the judge for yourself. I definitely heard something, but I just don't know what I heard. I just, like I said, I clearly 100% without a doubt heard Cherokee on that first recording we looked at or listened to. Second one, heard something, don't know what I heard though.
And something I like to say on my shows all the time, I'm here to educate you guys on some things, present some stuff out there. Don't take what I say for granted. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Come up with your own theory or your own hypothesis. That is, I'm very big on that. Very, very big. There's times, I have, last couple of years, I've shared, what y'all do show next week on my Bigfoot findings. Now that I can do it, that the documentary is out, I can actually share my stuff now. I've shared stuff with DA like, man, this is what I'm seeing, but what are you seeing? And DA can tell you, I have found some pretty cool stuff. Now, this is our theory, our hypothesis on what we found. It's still cool.
Well, that's no different than the track we found over in Joe Ball. I didn't look at DA and say, look at this canine print. I said, look at that.
Tell me what you see.
Tell me what you see. And he told me what he saw. And he saw the same thing I saw. So, and it's easy to sit there and downplay something and say, well, it's, you said this is what they said, so that's why everybody heard it. That's not always the case, because like I said, and that's why I wanted to clarify that I never heard what you said that second recording said. I could hear something, but I can't. I could not.
I heard something, but as to what it said, I can't swear to it. But the one that said Cherokee was pretty clear.
Speakers. Oh yeah. Some of them guys, I'm going to tell you now, it's hard to hear. What you're going to run into that. And unfortunately, in the paranormal investigations, sometimes things are very clear. Now, there's stuff on there, like I said, when you see 3 question marks, that's because I literally cannot figure out what the heck it's saying. It's either saying some strange language or it's saying it where I can't hear it. And which, honestly, a lot of stuff I caught because I had these things on blocking out a lot of noise. That's the only way I was able to hear it. And I've tried to enhance them the best I can.
Like DA said, I'm kind of the odd man out on. I'm kind of playing Steve's role tonight. Like he normally plays in our cryptid stuff, because Steve has never had a cryptid encounter, and he plays the one that. And same here, I've never had a paranormal or supernatural encounter, but that doesn't mean that I think that's stupid. That don't happen, because I know they happen. I haven't had one. Same thing with orbs. Same thing with UFOs. I've never seen an orb, but Doc's seen them. I don't know if have you seen them, DA?
Orbs?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Only times I've ever seen quote unquote orbs on camera, they just look like dust motes to me.
So, and Greg, another person I trust, Greg Ogles, he's seen them. So there's plenty of people that I know and trust have seen them. That doesn't. So just because I haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist. Same thing with supernatural and ghosts and things like that. Just because I haven't had that, because same thing, I've had Bigfoot encounters, and there's been plenty of people that haven't. So I wouldn't expect,
Mhm.
or I wouldn't want somebody to look at me and say, "Are you crazy?" Because I've never had that encounter. So it's not fair for me to look at somebody that's had a supernatural or paranormal encounter and say, "Oh, you're stupid," or "You're crazy," or "You're this," or "You're that," because I don't want that done to me on the Bigfoot side of things. So just because I didn't hear it, that's just because I didn't hear it, and my ears are old and sometimes they don't work good. So
Yeah. Well, I
that's
mean,
my
and that's the
take on
thing.
it.
Everybody's going to hear something different. Joshua, not offhand, I don't right now. I mean, though I've got funny stories of stuff I've seen, but odd stories I haven't really had yet. I mean, I've literally seen a deer run in front of my truck, try to jump a fence, hit it with his neck, flip over backwards, and skid across the ground. I mean, I've seen stuff like that, but I mean, it's. I don't really have that. But no, you're 100% right. You know, like I've never physically have seen a Bigfoot. Now, have I seen the evidence of Bigfoot? Absolutely. I've got a ton of stuff that would suggest that it's right. You know, for me, I've been dealing with paranormal since I was 3 years old. You know, my first paranormal I've ever experienced was my late grandma's spirit at our house in St. Joe, Missouri, up on Cudmore Street. That was my very first paranormal. I've been dealing with UFO stuff since I was like 8 or 9. You know, I've been dealing with Bigfoot stuff since I was 12 when my great grandpa up there in St. Joe, Missouri said, "Boy, stay out of the woods because Momo's out there." And me, you being dumb teenage me, is like, "Oh, Grandpa, you're full of crap. You know, keep on going." And all of a sudden, I run into a footprint that was that freaking big after I just went through there a couple minutes ago. So, yeah, so for me, there's a lot of stuff, but that's why I always say, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research, do your own stuff, come up with your own theory, your own hypothesis. I'm a very, very, very big believer in that. And I've always said this, and you guys have said this too. That's why I love you guys so much, because you guys say the exact same thing. Is I may see something differently you do, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong or you're wrong. Doesn't mean I'm right or you're right. But if we can come together and talk about it, that's how we advance in this. This is how we get information out. This is how this goes on. I'm a big, big, big supporter in that. And I think that kills us in this field, because too many people want to argue and say, no, it's my way or it's the highway. We cannot be that way, folks. Everything we do is a theory. It's a hypothesis. There is nothing shown in fact yet until we come together and we work together and we discuss things the way we're supposed to. It will always remain a theory or a hypothesis, unless the federal government decides to come out with it. I don't know. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, and much like the cryptid world, with the paranormal world, there are no experts. There are people that might claim they are, but 9 times out of 10, they're trying to sell you something. So, you know, form your own opinions, folks, because your opinions are just as valid as anything we can come up with. We are not experts. We don't claim to be. We are not going to put anything we find out and say it's the be all end all. We're happy to share anything we discover or anything we learn along the way, and we are more than happy to share that knowledge with other researchers or like-minded people. We can't just sit on this information, because the only way theories propagate and the way people can eventually prove these theories is when more than one set of eyes is looking at them. We've got interesting theories here on our show that are, well, we've actually noticed starting to show up on a few other channels. And you know what? I'm good with that. I am 100% good with that. I don't feel like anybody's taking anything from me. In fact, any other channel out there that enjoys any of our ideas and theories, feel free. I mean, we don't claim to own any of this stuff. And if you want to reach out to us, I'll be happy to share anything I know. Because that's how we get it. That's how we get more knowledge in this field.
The big thing, and I know she started talking about it after we did. I don't know that she heard it from us, but it would be cool if she did. Like the map lady on TikTok, she is talking about our overlaying map and we talked about that 4 or 5 months ago. Is it the first time we started talking about that or more?
And now there's another channel talking about the closed campgrounds on lakes too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm thrilled to death that other channels are starting to notice stuff like that. Maybe
I've done it on my shows.
Yeah, maybe we pointed them in the right direction. Maybe we didn't. Maybe they just came up with the idea independently of us. But you know what? I'm all for it, because even if it's just a case of they came up with the idea too, that means we're thinking alike, and I like that.
Yeah.
Because that's how we're gonna break new ground with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to, y'all. I mean, and I'll always tell you, yes, do I do research on UFOs? Do I do research on paranormal, mythological, folklore, cryptid, all that stuff? Yes, I love that. I love that stuff. I'm always going to be 99% because there's no way, unless it actually pops out there, that I'm going to be 100%. All my paranormal stuff, all my Bigfoot stuff, everything I'm going to tell you, this is what I see it. Now, could it be this? Absolutely. Some of the stuff is very hard to explain being a certain something else, though. I'm not going to lie. So always 99%. You got to leave that 1% for speculation.
Just
for being something else.
Because you brought that or popped that comment up, DA. I was sitting in my office the other day, and the PE coach came in my office to sit down and talk. And that my assistant principal is a believer. He listens. But coach has been using his office while the assistant principal's out with some medical issues right now. He come in, he said, "You and I'm not gonna say his name, or you believe like he does." I said, "Oh yeah," and I told him about the podcast we're doing, all that stuff. He said, "Well, tell me something. Tell me something that's gonna amaze me." I said, "Well, you're a history guy, right?" I said, "You like history and stuff like that?" He's like, "Yeah." So I told him the Bauman theory, and he sat there and he was like, and when I got done, he was like, "Oh my God." He said, "That makes perfect sense." And this is somebody who's not a believer in cryptids. Not saying that he's that can't happen, but he's never had a encounter, and he doesn't sit there and say, "Well, I think they do exist." He's like, "Yeah, it's possible." But when I told him that theory, he was like, "That makes so much sense." And I said, "Okay," ask him the question we always ask: what's the one thing that the president does when he comes into office after he's beat the incumbent? He says, tries to get rid of everybody's, or the president before him's things. I said, "Has anybody ever gone after Teddy Roosevelt's national park thing?" He was like, "I never thought of that, but no." I'm like, so the theories are starting to get traction, even with people who are just not. So when you look at stuff and it's so grounded in what people look at as logic and reality of the things like that theory. And I hit him with our tongue click theory too. And he was like, "That makes so much sense." I'm like, that's what we've been trying to say for years. There are people seriously putting a lot of good scientific knowledge and expertise into these theories. It's not just a bunch of quacks out here saying, I mean, obviously we do have that, but there are some good sound scientific principles being applied to this stuff. But people don't, like we said before, a lot of them can't see past what we just talked about, the kooks and but when we have people like the three of us and Steve and Doc and Jessica and people who are actually putting in serious scientific theories and principles and things like that, it's like E.D. just said, that's how you learn. That's how you advance this field. And I think that's why we're starting to really gain that traction and starting to grow a lot, because there's people that want that. They want to see and hear the no BS thing. Okay, let's really talk about this. What could this thing be in real terms, not in fantastical Sinbad and the seventh voyage stop motion Ray Harryhausen stuff. I mean, what is this thing in real life? What could this really be? And I think there's a lot of people craving that, and I think that's why we're on such a climb here lately. Sorry, soapbox, but
I'm coming to y'all as a fan. I mean, I love your guys' show. I mean, I've been friends with DA for a while. We've discussed a lot of stuff. I'm a fan that's on a show with superstars, in my opinion. You guys are phenomenal. I love both your guys' show and your information.
Dude, you're an Ozarks hillbilly like me. We're the same. We're cut from the same cloth, brother. Ain't nothing special here.
Yeah, we're from the same neck of the woods, bro. We're from the same neck of the woods.
Both pure Ozarks hillbilly.
I can tell you now. Yeah, this is why I love this show. This is why I love your show, Robbie, is because we get out there, and just because, like I said earlier, we may not agree on something the same way, we still talk about it and we still have a great time. That's what makes this show great. That's what makes your show great. That is what I love. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this stuff, is because of stuff like what you guys do. So what you guys do is top notch, in my opinion. I mean, it's my opinion, but there's a lot of other people who feel this way too. I highly recommend, DA on my shows every day, which reminds me, I meant to ask you permission if you wanted me to shoot your stuff on there or not, Robbie. If you do, just let me know and I'll add it. But
all the help I can get, I'll take.
All right. Well, I'll get your stuff and I'll put it on there. Cause I mean, even Jesus Payon Jr., I've had him on my show. I shoot his stuff out there. Yeah, I do.
We need to get him back.
Unfortunately, he had something bad. That's why I haven't really hounded him much since he had to do that deal. So, I mean, I just messaged him the other day. It's like, look, I know what's going wrong. When you're ready, just let me know. We'll have you back on. We have some fun stuff, and it's great. Now, does some of the stuff I do the same as your guys'? Heck yeah, because we think a lot alike on how this stuff is. And I'll always tell everybody, I tell people, this is my theory. This is my hypothesis. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm not saying I'm wrong. This is what I feel.
Well,
the stuff that I've experienced.
You've heard the running joke that what's really out there is DA Ex Machina a lot. We're just a 30-minute version of what we do here. I mean,
I'm the poor hillbilly version of it.
When you're copying a poor hillbilly, I don't know what that makes it.
I'm dirt poor.
We're all just poor hillbillies.
But the thing is, ED, and you hit the nail on the head though. When you have like minds, like that's why DA, Doc, Steve, and I think have such a good chemistry on this show. Is granted, we don't all 100% believe the same way, but we're so damn close that it doesn't really matter, because the little small minute details that we don't agree on, number one, we don't sit there, like we don't criticize each other for what the other one does or does not believe in. We use that as okay, well, case in point with Steve, Steve's never had an encounter. So Steve's our, as he likes to say, he's our agnostic. He's the one that we have to try to convince that this is real.
We found something.
Yeah. So, and Doc's kind of he's the resident supernatural expert, because he's had way more supernatural experiences than any of the rest of us. I know DA's had more than I've had, but I think Doc's had probably more than both of us,
especially on the paranormal side.
And
and Wendigo tore up his snow machine.
Yeah, I think between DA and I probably had more Bigfoot experiences, but he's had more Dogman experiences. But the thing is, we all have a place to fit into the show, and I think that's why people like the show so much, is because we all. So, like you said, it's real. It's not fake. It's not put on. It's just like DA wanted the show to be. It's just like sitting around a campfire, a bunch of goofballs talking about stuff and having a good time. It's not scripted. We're not like, okay, at this point you say this.
Because ain't none of us would remember it anyway.
No. I mean, anybody's watched the show more than once can see that this ain't scripted.
Yeah, we derail pretty regularly.
Topic? We don't need no stinking topic.
That's right. We do.
No, I mean, you guys are great. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, there is one other thing I wanted to kind of mention is E.D and I are going to be doing another investigation project. And this one's going to be more cryptid related than paranormal related, although there are some paranormal elements to what we're going to be investigating. You guys have heard me talk about a place called Moon Valley. It's on the Niagara River. It's also the home of what's known as the Dallas County Cannibal. And that area is steeped in Osage lore and cryptid sightings. And we're going to be doing a documentary set around Moon Valley. And we're going to be starting that here soon.
Well, I guess, can we make the announcement on that since things have changed on that?
Absolutely. Go ahead, man.
So, y'all have heard us, me and DA and Doc, and kind of talking about and hinting about a big investigation that we're going to do. Well, some things have changed. DA's got some stuff coming up, so it's still going to happen, but we're going to go ahead and kind of explain what it was, what it is, and what it will be. I've always wanted to say that. What it is, what it was, and what it will be. So what it was is it was going to be an investigation at the LBL. And it's still going to be an investigation at the LBL, but DA's got some family stuff that came up, so he's not going to be able to go. But Johnny and I are going April 3rd through the 7th, I believe. That's today's DA?
Yeah.
April 3rd through the 7th. So Johnny and I will be doing some live investigation, or not live as in video, and obviously, but we're going to be doing some investigation, recording some things. So y'all be looking for that. We're going to go and see if we can find some stuff and maybe get some footprints, maybe get some audio recordings, some video recordings, things like that. It was supposed to be the whole group of DA Ex Machina and what's really out there. But like I said, DA had some stuff come up, and hopefully there's going to be a few other surprises that might still come out of that I can't say about yet, but they should be good. As far as I know, they're still on, but we'll see. But if nothing else, Johnny and I are still going, and you'll hear about it on What's Really Out There and on DA Ex Machina, because obviously we'll still be talking about it. So, but be looking for that. And Johnny and I are going, leaving on the 3rd and heading up there to do some investigations in the LBL. So,
yeah.
Well, folks.
Yeah, and you guys make sure.
Go ahead, man.
You guys make sure you're still subscribed to everybody here, because even I noticed, like with Robbie's channel, for some reason, like, man, I haven't got nothing from him in a while, and for some reason I was unsubscribed. I don't know.
Sometimes YouTube does that. Don't know why.
I've been stuck on 460 something subscribers for about 2.5, 3 months now. So they've probably unsubscribed a lot of people. Y'all
make sure you go and like, share, and subscribe to not only Robbie's channel, but ED's as well. His is called what? The Bizarre and the Unknown.
It's the Bizarre and the Unknown. If you go to YouTube and you find that logo right there, you found me,
that's
baby.
The one.
I'll be sitting there talking to you. So that's me right there. And I'll get your information. Actually, I should be able to copy it off YouTube. I shouldn't have to have DAs. I think I can copy it and put it on there. I'm gonna make a banner just for you, Robbie, because if you guys have not caught Robbie's show, you guys definitely have got to catch Robbie's show. I'm telling you got to catch Robbie's show.
He's got some great episodes.
I love it. He does.
I appreciate it.
So
his show's pre-recorded, so you don't get a lot of the live banter that we do here.
Yeah.
But he's got some great information.
Me and Johnny still do some pretty good banter, but it's just not live stuff.
True, but not like interactive with the chat like we do.
No.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I spend 10 hours a day in a truck. So that 10 hours a day plus my 45 minutes going to work plus my 45 minutes going home, I'm listening to one of two things, either audiobooks or podcast. That is, I have yet to listen to music for a long time. The other day I had to, because I had to pick up my brother. He's like, "Oh, can we play something else?" And I was listening to my Viking Blood and Blades book that I absolutely love for like the 4th time. But I love Peter Gibbons. That's a good author, man. But I like a lot of his stuff, and he writes a lot of historical fiction. That's what I like about him. But so I was like, "Oh yeah." So I mean, that was the first time in like 8, 9, 10, maybe longer. I mean, it might have been over a year that I've actually listened to music, because I'm either listening to Robbie stuff or DA stuff or Roger stuff with Mudfall. I mean, I follow a lot of this stuff. So Dude, if you guys have it, get up there and follow Robbie. I'm telling you, he is worth the follow.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah, Don, the New Jersey Devil episode came out Friday, or
And that's a great episode too.
there was a lot of stuff in that episode that, like, Johnny,
surprising.
Johnny surprised me when he told me how big that. I didn't, when we started talking about that first doing that episode, he was like, "We hadn't done an episode on that." I'm like, "No, we haven't." We're like 40 something episodes in, and it's always been in our intro, and we've never done an episode. We've talked about it, but within other episodes, but we've never had an actual episode on that. And he was like, "Huh, I guess we need to do it." So he did a deep dive in it, and when he told me how big that place was, I was like, "You just don't think about New Jersey having a wooded area being that big, and that aqueduct or aquifer or whatever." I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah."
Pine barrens are massive, millions of acres.
Yeah. I was like, you don't think about something, a wooded area being that close to one of the most densely populated and biggest urban areas in the country. I mean, that's not far from New York.
Right.
And you just don't think about a big wooded area being that big, that close to that. It floored me.
Folks, really want to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I want to thank ED for hanging out with us and for inviting us to be part of that investigation. We've had an awesome time. And I want y'all remember that according to the algorithms, the analytics is saying that about 40% of our viewers, maybe 45% of our viewers, are not subscribed to the channel. We would greatly appreciate y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'd be happy to have you as part of the DA Ex MachiNation. What the heck just happened to the screen? Okay, that was weird. We would love to have you guys as part of the DA Ex MachiNation, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe to What's Really Out There and the Bizarre and the Unknown, because those are both awesome channels. And stick around for more of the same. This is a part of the evening when we talk about the 22 a Day Foundation. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. We lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and that is 22 too many. We also lose a great deal of first responders as well. And I don't just mean police officers, I mean anybody that's served. So check on your friends and family that have worn the uniform, because a lot of times they see things that the human mind just has trouble comprehending. So whenever somebody has to face their demons, don't let them face them alone. That call or that text might be far more important than you realize. And especially keep an eye on the ones that don't seem to have any problems at all, because those are often the ones that hide it the best. So you never know when that 2 a.m. "Hey dude, are you okay?" text is what pulls somebody back from the edge. So let's keep that in mind, and check out the Till Valhalla project, because Till Valhalla, their products are amazing. I've got a bunch of their shirts. I've got some of their thermal mugs, and 95% of what they take in goes straight to veterans. It's a company for veterans by veterans. They buy prosthetic legs, they buy service animals, they help get therapy for guys. They're doing the jobs that the VA and some of these bigger charities should be doing, but aren't. Unfortunately, most of the larger charities are more concerned about paying the salaries of the people in charge than they are about actually helping. Yeah, some of these bigger charities, if you give $100 to them, might be lucky if an actual dollar makes it to the veterans. The rest of it goes to salaries and them promoting themselves to make more money. So I like supporting the little guy. I like supporting the ground level guys, because the guys at Till Valhalla, that's exactly what they're doing. Well, everything they do is for fellow veterans. So take a moment of your time, check out the Till Valhalla project, and again, check on those that that wore a uniform in any capacity. They could still be they could be a veteran. They could have served in Vietnam, but you never know when somebody might have seen or experienced something that just haunts them. And sometimes all it takes is a kind word to keep somebody off that edge. Again, we lose 22 a day to suicide, and that is 22 too many. folks, one thing we've been doing here on the show, we've been ending the show with a toast. And I'm very proud of this, and I'm glad this is a tradition we started, and it's something I plan to do as long as I'm able. The quote we like to use is from a song called "The Parting Glass." It's an old Irish drinking song, and it's played at the end of the night in Irish bars across the world. It's talking about lifting a glass and saying your goodbyes because the bar is closing down. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's talking much deeper than that. It's talking about saying goodbye to those we've lost along the way. It's lifting a glass to those who can't lift it anymore. And this is our closing toast to those we've lost along the way, as I've put a few friends beneath that folded flag, and this is in memory of them. So if y'all will join me, I don't care what you're drinking, water, tea, coffee, something stronger, but if you'll lift a glass with me for this toast from the parting glass. The toast says, "But since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night, and joy be to you all." Good night, everybody.